in baptism as far as Christ is concerned. Now, it won't be a long program. We've just got a few things that we just go through quickly. I can't read that upside down. Oh no, that's right. Excuse me. It's so good to see so many here. I didn't expect so many. It's great to see. But I think it's because when someone gets baptised, isn't it interesting? Isn't it a blessing for each one?
Amen.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, okay. I believe this water's been warmed a little. I put my foot in it a while ago and couldn't feel anything. Perhaps my foot's gone. Anyway, I'll stop. I'll go further a bit. How did this start? 2 years ago, Melvin wanted to be baptised, but circumstances at the time didn't allow, and so it's been 2 years he's been waiting, and we're so happy that we can bring it to you today and to see his baptism. Before we go on to any further, I'd like to ask George to come here. George has been the one that's been able to be with Melvin a lot of the time, and we just want to know, George, how did this come about? Next thing I know, the church there and Melvin's there.
Good question. Melvin and I work for the same construction company we used it, unaware of it. And as we were working on a job site, Melvin just finished a bodybuilding competition and become second. And me being familiar with bodybuilding, having done it 30 odd years ago, I thought it was a good opportunity to talk in regards to nutrition. Because as I don't know if you were aware, but in bodybuilding, to get into the great physical shape for definition, you need to cut and abstain from some foods, and you need to eat more protein. And being on a plant-based diet, I started to speak with Melvin in regards to plant-based. And he agreed with me, which was a shock for me, because he said to me, my father's a vegetarian. I couldn't believe it. Little do I know though, his father was an Adventist also. So as time went by and we started talking, it gave me a great opportunity to witness to him. As I started witnessing to him, he was more and more curious, asking more and more questions. And I don't know everything, and I was stuck. So he was a blessing for me too, because I had to study more and give him answers. And there were times when I had no answers, and I would say to him, that's interesting, leave it with me, and I'll get back to you. So I'd go home and study myself to give him an answer. And lo and behold, he'd come back to me and say, guess what? I said, what? He'd say, I rang my dad, and my dad said, what you said is right. It was like, believe. So my faith grew too. And this went on for months, and for months, and for months. And then sometimes at work, we would pray together, we'd sit together. During the lunch hours, we'd be late going back to work, just talking about God, and just question after question. And before I knew it, he was going to Sabbath school, and I wasn't there. He would say to me, in the Maori accent, where were you, bro? He put me to shame, and I was like, I always give an excuse. I slept in, I was tired, I was late. And week after week, where are you, bro? We got to the stage, I had to beat him to Sabbath school. So he was a blessing for me too. And the rest is history, and here we are here today for Melvin to make a public declaration in regards to baptism and giving his heart to the Lord.
Amen.
God bless him. God bless Melvin.
Come out here.
Don't take him away.
You worry about the water? No, of course not. Just like, I know you've heard this over and over again, but you've heard of Phil and that unit and what happened there. Now I'll just go quickly through it. Phil was given a vision or a prompt in the head to go down to Gaza or go south to Gaza straight away. So, without any question, Phil went straight down towards Gaza, and on the way down there, there's this chariot on the side of the road, and I know you know this, but I'm just going through it because it's so like what we're going to do today. And so he saw the eunuch looking at the Bible. Actually, it was the book of Isaiah he was looking at. And so Philip thought, okay, the Lord led him, I believe. You understand what you're reading? He said to the eunuch. And the eunuch said, how can I understand when I've got no one to teach me? How can I understand? I need someone to guide me. So Philip says, well, maybe I can help. So he jumped up. The eunuch offered him to get up on the chariot, got on the chariot, and they went through, I believe, a sermon or Bible study there on Isaiah. The eunuch was concerned about, I was talking about the what do you call it, the Christ on the cross, yeah. And so when he explained it, they went off on the chariot, started going on the road. And then, you know what happened then, don't you? The eunuch saw some water. He said, "There's water. Why can't I be baptised?" And Philip, of course, thought, yeah, for sure. You will be baptised. So they got down to the chariot, went into the water. Philip baptised the eunuch. He'd come out. But the funny thing was, no, it wasn't funny, you know what I mean? The thing was, when they come out of the water, there was no... You're gone. Really gone. He's whipped away, and he's by himself. He got quite a shock. But then it says he went on rejoicing. He knew that there was something in it. He went on rejoicing, and of course we don't know what happened later on. So it's just a little bit of a story of, you know, what's happened in the Bible, and there's other places where there's baptisms and so on. So if we can step in now, I'll step in first. Melvin, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm going to ask you to repeat questions. I want you to say after me what I say. I believe that the Lord Jesus Christ is God's Son.
I believe the Lord Jesus Christ is Son of God.
I believe the Lord Jesus Christ is the Saviour of this world.
I believe the Lord Jesus Christ is the Saviour of this world.
Amen. I believe that all my sins, past, can be forgiven. All my sins can be forgiven.
I believe all my sins and past can be forgiven by Jesus Christ.
Just one question, which covers a lot. Are you prepared to follow Christ wherever he goes, whatever he does?
Amen.
Amen. Amazing, please. Okay. I think we might go down another step because I don't like to lift you up.
Maybe two more. Maybe one more.
Oh, hang on.
Maybe one
He
more.
might baptise you, Carl.
Your watch is waterproof?
Hmm?
Your watch is waterproof?
It's all right. Okay. Melvin, you're taking a step, like another step in your life. And it won't be another step like this. A step to confirm your faith in Jesus Christ. So now, I would like to find a place where it is
step, Carl. Be careful, there's one more step.
One more step.
When your left foot is, you can step one more time, so be careful. Where your left foot is.
Yeah, I think
Be careful.
you were getting up front of that.
Melvin will be baptizing you.
There's a big cloth on the
He's fine.
big cloth, white cloth here. Yeah. No, I will not baptize you in the name of Jesus, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Amen. know Carl and Melvin are getting changed at this moment, and so they'll be back and we'll get to greet them. But baptism's a very special ceremony because it's not only a dying, that's the idea as you get under the water. If you were held under the water all the time, you'd be dead. And so that's the idea is you don't actually do it yourself. Carl, acting as an elder, actually brings them down into the water. So it's like you have to actually allow that process of dying, and then like the minister or Jesus, he actually brings us into newness of life. And so it's that concept of a burial, a marriage also to Christ. It's you become one with him, you walk with him, what he says you want to do, because you know he meets your heart needs, he fills that void in your heart. And then that newness of life is walking day by day, and that's that what they call born again, living anew, all these different terms. And so that's the special thing. Like we love marriages, we love when people are born, and we always want to be there when people depart. And so it's all those three things in one that God says, I want to have that special time, and that's where we're all gathered here together. And so we just want to invite very shortly Melvin and Carl back, but if we can sing maybe one more song. 334, is that Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing? That would be lovely. And then we've got a little gift for 334, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. If you want to look it up, some of you have got phones so you can look it up. Thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy, never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me ever to adore thee, may I still thy goodness prove, while the hope of endless glory fills my heart with joy and love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, humbly cry thy cross I come, and I know by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the throne of God, he to rescue me from danger, interposed his precious blood. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor, daily I'm straight to thee. May thy goodness, like a fetter, bind me closer still to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here's thy heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above. And so at a time like this is also important, I think, for those people who've made a choice to obviously congratulate Melvin, but also there are people here that probably haven't yet accepted the call of God in their life, where God says, hey, I want you to have that newness of life. I want you to be cleansed. Like when you go in to have a shower, you get cleansed. You get all the dirt off, but God does an internal cleansing. And so he wants to come into your heart. When his words, his principles come into you and you meditate on them, you have that newness of life. Isn't that true, Melvin? And so there is a daily battle, like we talked about in the sermon today, but it's easier when you have the Lord to be by your side. And so if there's anyone who hasn't yet said, yes, Lord, I want to have the Lord as the Lord of my life, you can come and see myself or Carl or George or so on. We want to help you on that journey of walking with the Lord, because it's not easy. People said there's two ways to live. One is where you run life, you are the Lord. You don't need anyone else. The other way to live is where you allow the Lord of the universe, the one who puts the stars up, puts the sun, sends the rain, and you let him take charge. And you say, okay, I don't know what to do, Lord. Tell me how to live life properly. And so if that's your desire, then you need to ask for that help. Ask, the Bible says, and ye shall receive. Knock, and the door shall be opened unto you. Seek, and you shall find. And so that promise is there. As we ask, as we seek, as we knock, God will come to us. And so maybe if I hand it back to Carl and we greet Melvin, and I'm sure all of you would like to, and whether you have any final words, Carl, that you'd like to say.
Yeah, there's cold drinks over here. You might have to wash some of them if everyone wants, but come and help yourself to... I'm not going to take them around to you. Come and get them yourself. Sure. And we've got plenty to have, so you can help yourself to cold drinks.
Have we heard from Melvin? Would he like to share just a little of your own journey? Is that okay, Melvin?
What do you want to know?
We can't be here too long, but...
I'm thankful to Carl for baptising me. I sort of sprang it on with probably it was out of the ordinary, because usually you do a baptism study. But so I'm thankful to Carl. I grew up in the church at a young age, but my father was never forced us to go to church. And so I decided to side with the devil for the next 20 years, from about the age of 6 and until the age of 20, to the age of 26. So I met George, and then I started studying. And I was actually going through a real rough patch in my life, and it was like I wanted to commit suicide, but I was praying to God to send me to a place. If it was real, and he actually sent me to Hellinger, so I was thankful for that. And I met George out of the ordinary, so it was. I know that God's real. He's like the wind. You can't see the wind, but you can see what it does. So I know I can testify that there is a God, and I'm thankful for how far He's led me. And my brother-in-law over there, he can testify from the life that I've come. So I don't like bad things, and I just So if God can lead me out of being a practicing criminal into a life of righteousness, He can lead anyone out of it.
Amen.
So, I'm thankful to the church for making me feel at home. And I'm actually thankful for Carl for sort of laying the foundation and teaching me certain things. And the lad, he was, if none of you know, he was travelling to my house for quite a long time regularly. And from an hour's trip from Rockdale to Redcliffe to teach me and train me in the ways of the Lord through Bible study regularly. And so I'm just thankful for everyone that came out. I didn't realise these would all show up. I sort of wanted it small. I didn't even tell all my friends in Brisbane because I didn't want to make it a big thing.
I'd like to say that I come to the church, Helens Vale, when Melvin did come in at that time. But I know there's a lot of you here that probably have only met Melvin in the last 2 or 3 weeks. But he used to come every Sabbath from a long distance. And Melvin, remember the 3 or 4 we used to get in that corner, and we used to talk about doctrines and things. Yeah, the lad was there too, and we had a wonderful time talking about spiritual things on Sabbath. And I'm just looking forward to more of that.
Amen.
And it's
Come, Melvin. We'll pray together as a whole group, and then we'll. Okay.
I hope some of you are thirsty and take those back. Yeah.
Okay, shall we just bow our heads and we'll pray together? Dear Heavenly Father, you have heard that how Melvin has had a change in his life, and we just thank you for being the change agent in his heart and life. And I pray you continually work in him.
Yes.
We have this promise in Philippians 1 verse 6 that he who has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. I pray for his family that have come here and all of your church family that are here, and that we all can be united as a family in heaven because you're coming back soon, and you want us all to have that newness of life and that wonderful life and transformed life that you can give. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. God bless.
Now,
God bless.
someone please come and drink. Come and drink. It's not wine.